Marjorie Taylor Greene is a person, and honestly, I'm still debating that one. She is a recently elected congressperson. She seems to be kind of crazy, and we're going to talk about that. So here's the long and short of it, okay? Marjorie Taylor Greene has already sort of, how do you put it, has already conjured a pretty negative relationship. Not conjure, what's a good term for this one? Has already made manifest a pretty negative relationship with her esteemed co-workers, because shortly after her election, a bunch of really fucking crazy unhinged shit came out, like pretty much immediately. So here's a big long post on complex.com. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene called out for harassing Parkland shooting survivor David Hogg in newly unearthed video. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a Sandy Hook and Parkland shooting denier. I went over this on stream earlier, but since then a bunch more stuff has come out, so fuck it! Let's look again. Look at this. Here's her on the street harassing David Hogg, survivor of a school shooting.
If Scott Peterson, the resource officer at Parkland, had done his job, then Nicholas Cruz wouldn't have killed anybody in your high school, or at least protected them. Why are you supporting red flag gun laws that attack our Second Amendment rights? And why are you using kids to get to as a barrier?
So, now, I'm not one for civility politics. However, I think we can generally agree that going on the street to publicly harass the survivor of a shooting is pretty distasteful, especially considering that she is a denier of that shooting. That is to say, I think there's some evidence to suggest she believes it was some kind of false flag or plant or something to that effect. There's a lot of discourse surrounding that issue. Yeah, especially since David Hogg is a fucking kid. There's actually quite a bit that's been summoned on Marjorie Taylor Greene. Anti-Semitism and white genocide. In 2018, Greene shared a video with Open Gates, the forced collective suicide of European nations. That's right. She's a white nationalist. Repeating the Nazi, my bad. I undersold that one. Repeating the anti-Semitic white genocide conspiracy theory that Zionist supremacists are conspiring to flood Europe with migrants to replace the native white population. So, yeah. This is like full-on alt-right territory, not like batting about fascism. This is just like your average internet Nazi being a congresswoman, which is, cool, great. Yeah, she's into Pizzagate. She's a QAnoner, big fan of the QAnon, pedophilia, human sacrifice, Satanism, so on and so forth. Though I think the only child abuse that you could directly link to her would be her decision to harass an underage victim of a shooting for political gain. We have, of course, the now infamous Jewish space laser. This is a real thing, where she believes that it was a Rothschild orbital space laser cannon that caused the California fires. Yeah, I'm just going to put this one out. As there is now over, nice crop, by the way, got rid of the first half of every letter in every line. As there is now over 70 people confirmed dead and over 1,000 missing, the fires in CA are a horrible tragedy. I am praying for all involved. I'm posting this in speculation because there were too many coincidences to ignore. Just putting it out here, some research that I've done stemming from my curiosity over PG&E stocks, which tanked all week, then rallied Thursday night after CA official announced they would not let PG&E fail. I think it's very interesting that Roger Kimmel on the board of directors of PG&E is also a vice chairman of Rothschild Incorporated, international investment banking firm. I also find it interesting the long history of financial contributions PG&E has made to Jerry Brown over the years, and millions spent in lobbying. I don't know why that's unusual. It's PG&E, and I don't know why it's unusual they'd lobby that person, but okay. What a coincidence it must be that Governor Brown signed a bill in September 2018 protecting PG&E and allowing PG&E to pass off its loss of fire responsibility to its customers in rate hikes and through bonds. It also must just be a coincidence that the fires are burning in the same projected areas that the $77 billion high-speed rail project is to be built, which also happens to be Governor Brown's pet project. So on and so on. Speculation. I do find it really curious that PG&E's partnership with SolarWind on space solar generators started in 2009. Space solar generators collect the sun's energy and then beam it back to Earth in a transmitter to convert it to electricity. If they're beaming the sun's energy back to Earth, I'm sure they would never miss a transmitting station, right? I mean, mistakes are never made when anything new is invented. What would that look like anyway? A laser beam or light beam coming down to Earth, I guess. Could that cause a fire? I don't know. I want to be perfectly clear. Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I know there are people in my community who don't like it when I use this language, is fucking insane. She is actually insane. I think that in a decent society, and I mean this completely sincerely, this is not hyperbole, I think that she would have some kind of ward, or like she'd be committed in some way. This is well beyond, we are well beyond the purview here, okay? I do believe that, I do. Maybe with some counseling, we could get her to a point where she's capable of existing in society again, but we are currently not at that point at all. We're just not there at the moment. Then, of course, we have other shit, like her saying that Pelosi should be executed. There's actually a bunch of old social media posts that she partook in, which indicate violent intent towards other members of Congress that she's been scrubbing. She's been trying to delete for some time now, and has been like really on it over the past couple of days. On one Facebook post in April 2018, Greene wrote conspiratorially about the Iran deal, one of President Barack Obama's signature foreign policy achievements. A commenter asked Greene, "Now do we get to hang them?" meaning Hillary and Obama. Greene replied, "The stage is being set. Players are being put in place. We must be patient. This must be done perfectly or liberal judges would let them off." What a really wacky stuff. Greene liked a comment saying that a bullet to the head would be quicker to remove House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Really interesting stuff there, you know? I checked on Twitter, by the way. She follows Nick Fuentes. We're well beyond the point, I think, where this is just a, like a fasci or like a populist right political figure. And we've entered territory where I'm being sincere when I say this. I don't think she should be allowed to be in office. I think she is well past that point. She thinks that Muslims don't belong in the government. Her takes on the government seem to belie a complete ignorance of how the American legal system works, up to and including a contempt for the egalitarian principles that this country was ostensibly put in place to uphold. I say ostensibly in very large letters here. Oh yeah, she suggested the electric chair for the liberal media as well. Or she laughed when somebody else suggested that journalists should get the electric chair. Which is fantastic, wonderful stuff. Calls for her to resign have rung through Congress. She will not resign, and a motion has been introduced to call for her expulsion. Now, we have run up headlong into the tolerance paradox, okay? So the tolerance paradox is essentially this. Should a tolerant society be tolerant of the intolerant? The answer is obviously yes. Democracies... Oh, wait, sorry, no, okay, wait, hold on, I was a big step. No, the answer is no. Here's the reason why. I'll ask you a question. A lot of people disagree with me on this, but I'll ask you. You can figure it out for yourself, okay? All right. Say you have a democratic society, okay? You got a democracy. It's a good democracy, too, better than ours. Good democracy, okay? And due to some socio-political instability, there are two parties that are running that have a shot at winning, okay? Two parties, okay? One party, Democratic Party. Not the Democrats, but a Democratic Party. They believe in democracy. They're cool guys. Not perfect, cool guys. The other party is anti-democracy. If they take power, they will use every legal means possible to destroy democracy. Everything that they can do. And they kind of implied they'll do everything illegal they can too, but they won't directly say that. They'll just say they'll do everything legally they can do. The question is, they imply the illegality, they don't commit to it. The question is, should a democratic society even allow the second party to run? And my answer is yes, because to be pro-democracy is to be pro the preservation of democracy. That is my belief. Wait, did I say yes again? Wait, no. God, wait, no. I did it again. No, stop. You confused me. Chat. Okay, we're way off the mark here. Okay, we've driven way into the boonies. We're fucking should have taken a left at Albuquerque. Listen up, okay? We're gonna quit goobing. We're not restarting the segment. We're goobing, but we can fix the goobing. Listen up. To be pro-democracy is to be pro-preservation of democracy. And much in the same way, to be pro-free speech is to be pro the preservation of free speech. If you're in favor of free speech, you should prevent entities which would destroy free speech from taking power, even if that means suppressing their free speech. Because by suppressing their free speech, you promote your free speech. Much in the same way that if you want to build peace and a peaceful world, a peaceful earth, then you should be willing to use violence to fight against other entities that are willing to engulf the world in flames. Okay? This is an anime. It's anime. We all know the kingdom of Faustonia believed in peace, but then the demon warlord began to ravage the countryside. We believe in peace, but we must fight to defend. This isn't an oxymoron. Fighting for peace is not an oxymoron. Not even slightly. You should do what you can to preserve good systems. And this right here, this is not a good system. This is bad. I do not want to be in a country where lunatic QAnon Nazis can fucking moonwalk their way into office, immediately bungle everything up, and face no accountability. In any other job on Earth, if material came out which indicated that you had posted in the past that you wanted to put a bullet in the head of one of your coworkers, that person would be fired, okay? At any point, instantly, at any point. That would be immediate. Any other job in the world, that's like not even a brain teaser. You don't even have to think about it. You don't even have to think about it. And there's drama going on right now. Right now. At this very moment. MTG statement incoming. Yeah, let's take a look, people. Because it looks like MTG is currently beefing with the one, the only Cori Bush. That statement is going to be coming out in 20 minutes. Let's take a look at the preceding information, huh? So here's Cori Bush detailing an encounter that she had with Marjorie Taylor Greene. On January 13th, I was walking with my staff to vote. I was in the tunnel between the Cannon office building and the Capitol when MTG... Every time I hear MTG, I think of Magic the Gathering. When Marjorie Taylor Greene came up after me, ranting loudly into her phone while not wearing a mask. This took place one day after multiple of my House colleagues announced that they had tested positive for COVID-19 after being in a room with Taylor Greene during the white supremacist attack on the Capitol. Out of concern for the health of my staff, other members of Congress, and their congressional staff, I repeatedly called her out to put on a mask. Taylor Greene and her staff responded by berating me, with one staffer yelling, "Stop inciting violence with Black Lives Matter." Which is a really weird thing, by the way, to say to a black congresswoman. It's just a social faux pas, and FYI to you guys, if you just walk up, if you're like, just walk past like a black person, you're like, stop doing BLM. It's a little weird. It's a little strange. Previously, Taylor Greene lashed out at me on Twitter on MLK Jr. Day to falsely accuse me of leading the mob that called for the rape, murder, and burning of the home of the McCloskey family in St. Louis. Also a little weird. I don't know, you know? Thus naming me as the target to her hundreds of thousands of Twitter followers. In the context of Taylor Greene's repeated endorsements of executing Democrat politicians before taking office, Taylor Greene's renewed repeated antagonism of the movement for Black Lives in the past month, directed towards me personally, is cause for serious concern. All this led to my decision to move away from Taylor Greene for the safety, move my office away from Taylor Greene's for the safety of my team. My office is currently being relocated from the Longworth House office building. I will discuss Taylor Greene's unacceptable behavior and the need for accountability at the top of MSNBC's The Rideout with Joy Reid, or The Readout, sorry, at 7 p.m. EST, which will be after the stream ends, so I don't care about it. So that's cool. Putting other congresswomen in a position where they feel they have to move their office building to get away from her. Definitely a tactic. Anyway, in response to this tweet, Marjorie Taylor Greene stepped up.
You know what?
With the video response. Get ready for it. I like how the mask down around her neck makes it look like it's a choker. Also, holy fuck, she looks crazy. Look at her eyes. Holy shit, look at her eyes. I'm telling you, man, that QAnon stuff does something to your skull shape. I don't know. Shame me for phonetics.
A bunch of bad people do, or a small amount actually, do a really bad thing, attack the Capitol, which I denounce and completely am against and don't agree with the violence. But yet Democrats who cheered on, supported, called peaceful protests, Antifa BLM riots the entire year long that caused billions of dollars worth of damage, attacked American businesses, burned down Minneapolis. Let's see, what else did they do? Then they supported bail bond links for criminals. You know what? Yeah, don't yell at people. You know what? You shouldn't bring COVID positive members in here, spreading COVID everywhere. Stop being a hypocrite. Yeah, this is how it is here now. This is how it is.
Did she think this video made her look good?
Stop being a hypocrite. This is arguing with my
one of the most powerful people in the country, by the way.
Democrat colleagues, supposed colleagues.
She doesn't even have it over her nose. There you go.
That's how it is. It's how it is now in America.
I like the censored mask when she's literally one of the most powerful people in the country.
So you're witnessing exactly what we're having to live through.
Nice. The censorship. It's unbelievable. By the way, I like the fact that she brought up BLM again, even though the tweet she's responding to doesn't mention Black Lives Matter. Dude, it's pretty strange how she keeps bringing up and blaming BLM on the fucking, on this one black lady. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. But from the person who believes in white genocide and a person who believes in Jewish space lasers. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, wait, hold on. Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about the Vegas mass shooting, just to remind us that she's all a dangerous, crazy person. Oh, this is new to me. I haven't seen any Vegas shooting correspondence. I'm excited. What do you got?
The crowd. Friends, I've got a question for you. How do you get avid gun owners and people that support the Second Amendment to give up their guns and go along with anti-gun legislation? How do you do that? Maybe you accomplish that by performing a mass shooting into a crowd that is very likely to be conservative, very likely to vote Republican, very likely to be Trump supporters, very likely to be pro-Second Amendment, and very likely to own guns. You make them scared, you make them victims, and you change their mindset, and then possibly you can pass anti-gun legislation. Is that what happened in Las Vegas? Is that why the country music festival was targeted? Because those would be the people, would be the ones that we would relate to? Are they trying to terrorize our mindset and change our minds on...
Notice how she's just asking questions, by the way. This is literally like a poll shit poster made a congresswoman. She asks questions, she links together conjecture, you know, she baits out like, yeah, you know, like, isn't that interesting? It's just another like 4chan Nazi. It's insane. All the language, all the motivations, all the conspiracy theories, it all leads back to the exact same set of beliefs.
The Second Amendment? Is that what's going on here? I have a lot of questions about that. I don't believe Stephen Paddock was a lone wolf. I don't believe that he pulled this off all by himself. And I know most of you don't either. So I am really wondering if there's a bigger motive there. And does it have to do with the Second Amendment? Because what...
Yeah, so she has nothing to say. She's just asking questions. Oh, here's her in 2019, suggesting Ruth Bader Ginsburg was replaced with a body double. Yeah, her brain is basically just soup. I don't think somebody like this is capable of being a representative in this country because her brain is completely detached from empiricism. Like, completely and 100%. Her brain, like, she doesn't have a relationship with reality, you know? Um, like, what can you do with that? What can you even do about that? I don't know. I don't know if you've seen this. Oh, is this Marjorie Taylor Greene? Yep. I remember this. So this is why I said earlier that Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't understand the laws of this country. She tried to force Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib to retake their oaths on a Bible. And this was before she was even a representative, I think. She just like went into the Capitol as a citizen and just like, yeah, this is in 2019. Yeah.
They swore in on the Koran. Oh, we have the Bible. We're going to talk about swearing in on the oath, how to swear in on the Bible with them and let them know what our law says, that you can't swear in on the Koran. So we're going to explain that. You know, we're going to explain about how you can't swear in on the Koran. And we're going to have the Bible and ask them if they would swear in on the Bible, that we really need them.
We have the oath.
Yeah, we have the oath, yep. So I think that's important.
The sad thing is, now
you're infringing on our religion.
Which you should not
You're infringing on our religion.
Yes.
By saying that we can't swear in on the Quran.
But when they swore in, it wasn't a law
She just acknowledges, by the way. Yes, I am.
yet, right? At the time they swore in.
I don't know.
I think at the time they swore in, that wasn't passed.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't have been passed in a Republican control.
Right.
Yeah, so it was passed after they swore in. So they're not really official, I don't think.
That's some sovereign citizen logic, by the way. Did you guys see all of the far-right types who were saying that Biden's inauguration was illegitimate because he was inaugurated 1 minute before exactly noon on the day? Because the Constitution says inauguration... I don't know if it's the Constitution, but the law says that inauguration takes place at noon, but it happened at 11:59 a.m., so they were like, it's illegitimate election, or something like that. It's brain soup. If you've talked to these people, you know they're lost, by the way. The funny thing is, like, I'm showing you Marjorie Taylor Greene, but I feel like most of you probably have a family member who acts like this. You probably have a family member who is this lost, you know? Like, if you have a conversation with them, they don't actually... I'm really trying not to be ableist here, but I know what I'm talking about. When you talk to some of these people, like, there's not really, like, a dialogue with them. Like, when you introduce information or talk with them, it's like an empty hole that it goes into, and then they respond with the thing they were always going to respond to. If you talk to these people, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, conspiracism does rot the brain. And while it may not be a mental illness in the DSM to be a conspiracy theorist, the fact of the matter is that it has effectively the same, often far, far worse effects on a person's cognitive processes. In fact, no, I would stand by far, far worse. I've talked to and been friends with plenty of people who have diagnosed mental illness, and I have never met a single one of them who is even remotely as crazy as a mentally well QAnoner. Mentally well in the clinical sense, at least. I've never met one who even came close to that. Even slightly. It's really, really unfortunate. This is like your average QAnon family member, right? Like, you can't even pull them out of it. It's like a hole. I worry about them, Vosh. I can't worry about them as long as they're such a threat to the country. If they were like a minority, if this was just like a sect of like 2,000 or 3,000 cultists or something that lived out in like fucking Idaho or something, I think that'd be unfortunate. You know, you'd have kids that grew up into it and they're kind of like groomed into believing the precepts of their cult. And like, that's really, really unfortunate. But if they're politically effective, which they are, because crazy people tend to be, unfortunately, because they're so active and energetic about getting involved in politics, it's hard for me to, yeah. Wait, I'm sorry. What is this? Yikes. Marjorie Taylor Greene thinks white people who voted for Obama are really the racists, and she also thinks 9/11 happened during Obama's presidency. Wait, what?
Voted for. Let me just throw this out here. And you guys,
What is this audio from? What is this audio from? Because it doesn't correspond to the video.
I'm ripping the duct tape off of political correctness today because I've had it. I'm just done with it.
Sounds like
so.
it.
I'm going to say this to all you social justice warriors, white people who voted for Barack Obama. You're really the racist, because here's what I've heard from many of you, that you all voted for Barack Obama, white people, Democrat voters, voted for Barack Obama because you felt like it was time for America to have a black president. Well, let me say this. That makes you the most racist people in this country because you voted for someone based on their skin color, which is what racism is.
Damn,
it's how you
calling
treat
you
someone,
out.
hire someone, fire someone, talk about someone, make decisions and feelings about someone based on their skin color. And that makes all of you white people who think you're so...
I'll steelman this point. I actually do think it's pretty weird and liberal idpolly to choose a candidate because of their skin color. Like, that's pretty fucking weird. However, let's be real. If John McCain had been black and Obama had been white, Democrats still would have voted for Obama. That whole it's time for a black president thing, it only really came to field because he was the better candidate. The difference here is that liberal idpol shit is like flavoring, whereas the racist behavior of the Republicans back in 2008 and 2007 and stuff were pretty overt and pretty like deliberate, you know?
Above everyone else, that makes you actually the biggest racist there is.
True.
But we had witnessed 9/11, right? We had witnessed 9/11, the terrorist attack in New York, and the plane that crashed in Pennsylvania, and the so-called plane that crashed into the Pentagon.
Oh man, she's a 9/11 conspiracy theorist.
Odd, there's never any evidence shown for a plane in the Pentagon. But anyways, I'm not going to dive into the 9/11 conspiracy. That happened during Barack Obama's presidency.
Wow. You know, I thought this would be more ambiguous or like she would have misspoken, but no, that was as direct a statement as you can get. Yeah. Wow. It could be cut. It could be cut. Maybe. The fact that there's not a video that it's attached to. Well, we'll see. Maybe she doubles down.
His presidency. Okay, but let's keep going. Let's keep talking about whatever happened. Yes, I do believe he is a Muslim.
No, see, then she immediately talks about him being a Muslim. I don't know. I mean, it could be cut. It could be cut. But do you really think that her believing 9/11 happened under Obama would be that out of whack considering everything else she said?
Obama opens our borders. We have all these Muslim refugees coming to our country.
Wait, Muslim refugees? The refugees that come to America are generally from Central and Latin America. We don't... What?
Radical. You know what's amazing to me, people? How did this happen after 9/11? After 9/11, where we have 19 Muslims take over planes and fly them into buildings, that's what we Americans saw happen. How is it possible that fast forward 12, 15 years later, we are having a Muslim refugee invasion into our country?
Yeah, pretty much about what you expect. God, it's really impressive how stupid they are. When I see stuff like this, it really does vindicate my belief that like conservatism is just like the low IQ position. It's really, really incredible. Oh God, I know I fantasize about this anytime I see somebody who I'm never going to be able to debate, but holy shit, I would kill. I would murder to debate Marjorie Taylor Greene. I would fly out to DC. I would pay for every flight ticket. I would pay for every fucking hotel booking. I would pay for the security. I would pay for everything if I could debate Marjorie Taylor Greene. I would put up, not only would I pay for it, you motherfuckers would pay for it if I asked you to. I would say, hey, here's a GoFundMe. You fuckers would raise $20,000 for that. Because that would be the content of a lifetime, okay? Because unlike a lot of people, unlike somebody like Ted Cruz, you know what happened if I tried to debate Ted Cruz, okay? Ted Cruz's cuck brain, he's going to use all the sneaky tricks that he employed while he was a Zodiac killer, you know? He's going to think, I don't want to get into this. I don't want to get into that. All right, goodbye. And he would just like, scuttle out like a beetle, you know? But Marjorie Taylor Greene is crazy. Probably doesn't have a very good assessment of her own abilities. I imagine that she would be fun to talk to. Yes, Ted Cruz would ink me. He would lift up his arms and the ink jets in his armpits would spray me and blind me, which would give him time to escape. Yeah, pocket sand. No, pocket sand is Marjorie Taylor Greene's tactic. But I have a counter tactic. I wear glasses, which will block some of the sand. You know. If you ever want to win a debate with Ted Cruz, just tell him that his wife is ugly and he'll simp for you for 4 years. He's like a familiar or like a devil from like the demon realm, where you have to say like the key phrase and they become your servant even if they don't want to. And for him, it's saying that his wife is ugly. Isn't it kind of ableist to take on Marjorie Taylor Greene for content? You know what? When you make it to the House, I say the bets are off, okay? The debate lord comes out. But it's all fantasizing. It's not going to happen. Apparently, the statement from Marjorie Taylor Greene is being released in just 1 minute. So how likely is she to be kicked out of office? Very unlikely, unfortunately. I don't think anything's going to be done here. The problem is that I think that you need a supermajority in Congress in order to kick people out. Or is it 66 or 60%? You need a lot of people. Yeah, 2/3. Yeah, super. Yeah, you need to kick the 2/3. Yeah, so they're gonna need Republicans. If she resigned, that'd be pretty funny. We'll have to see. They need 70 Republican representatives. Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, we're just excuse me, God. I'm releasing a statement in 1 minute. Get ready. Everything MTG believes in all here. Oh man, we got the collector's edition, the pre-order edition. QAnon, Clinton kill list, Vegas mass shooting denier. Seth Rich, of course. Forgot about that one. QAnon again, more QAnon. Racist, anti-Semitic, and Islamophobia. Hang Clinton and Obama, more QAnon. False flag shooting, Sandy Hook, space lasers, 9/11. Obama is a Muslim. Very good, very good. Executing Pelosi. School shooting survivor is a coward. Nice, nice. It seems she's posted. Let's take a look. Oh, shit. Get ready for it, people. Just participating in the Democratic discourse. A message to the mob from Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Here's my message to the radical left-wing Democrat mob. By the way, keep in mind that Cori Bush's message had nothing to do with BLM and just had to do with Marjorie Taylor Greene being abrasive and threatening and COVID spready. Since launching your smear campaign attacks on me, nearly 60,000 America First patriots, there's the Nick Fuentes label, from all 50 states have reached out with messages of support and have poured over $1.6 million in small donations into my campaign account. Every attack, every lie, every smear strengthens my base of support at home and across the country because people know the truth and are fed up with your lies. That's nice. I like that she's not even trying to defend herself. She's just saying that people who support her like how she is, and she makes money from being how she is. While big PACs and powerful corporations refuse to donate to Republicans and cave to the vicious cancel culture mob, the people have my back. The same 75 million people who voted for Donald Trump. Voters who will be vital to Republicans taking back the House in 2022. Okay, now she's saying, donate to me. I will never back down. I will never give up because I am one of you and because I will always represent you. Unfortunately, that might be true. I take all of these slings and arrows gladly for you. I take them for our America First movement so that we can save our country and stop socialism. If Republicans cower to the mob and let Democrats and the fake news media take me out, they're opening the door to come after every single Republican until there's none left. Do you guys understand what a threat like fascism is to this country? Jesus Christ. But what's worse is Republicans would be opening the door to let the vicious cancel culture mob take out every one of you. President Trump taught us how to defend America First values. That's why Democrats have the smallest majority in the House since World War II. Is that true? Wait, the Democrats haven't had the House since World War II. What metric is that? The smallest majority? Of what relevance is that? They still have a majority. I will lead the charge to be a voice for the silent majority. I'll always have your back because I know you have mine. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. More MAGA reinforcements are on the way. Let's win big for Republicans in 2022. Save America. Stop socialism. Defeat the Democrats. Let's make America great again. So, wow, when she said she'll have a statement out by 4:15, she actually meant like, I'm going to type this up in a Word document and then post it. No. Stop. There we go. I can't type at all. That'll be fine. Wait, when you people type words... Wait, hold on. No, yeah, that's all spelled correctly. Delete basically? There, we made it better. Oh, damn, you really showed her? Yeah, dude, I just saved democracy. Are you mad? 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 Anyway, to sum up all of this, to sum up this entire nonsensical charade, Marjorie Taylor Greene is unfit to be in office. She's a threat to everyone around her. If people like her continue to work within the halls of Congress, if they continue to be representatives for this country is doomed. Democracies cannot survive people like this, people who are contemptuous of factual information, people who reject empiricism, people who care only about power and violence, people who will blame everybody but themselves, who are unironically avatars of victimhood culture to an unfathomable extent. These people are destructive to democracy, and they have to go. They cannot be allowed in here, so I hope she resigns or is expelled, or at the very least, she has a very, very unfun time being a representative. It's not surprising that the Republicans would field somebody like her. Which election was it that David Duke nearly won? That David Duke ended up being the Republican frontrunner? Which one was it? Which state was that? Underestimated how much water there was in this jug. But yeah, Louisiana. Yeah, David Duke. Let's pull that up, okay? Real quick. Yes, the 1991 Louisiana gubernatorial election, where 38.8% of the vote went to David Duke, former Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan and the frontrunner for the Republican Party. Over 500,000 people voted for David Duke. Never forget, the Republican Party is only a couple of choice, opportunistic elections away from bringing back fucking slavery, okay? The idea that we've moved on from this is not the case. They've shut up, they've zipped their lip, they don't talk openly at their workplace, most of the time, about wanting to hang blacks anymore, but they do, quite a few of them, and those people have power, and when the opportunity arises, they will use that power, and they will use it to great effect. By great, I mean significant, not great as in good. Not good. Not good, people. Marjorie Taylor Greene is on the Education Committee after denying the existence of school shooting like Parkland. Yep. Yep. Gubernatorial? Yeah, gubernatorial election. Yes, from the boot. Very nice. Check out the election before, see if he did much worse. Was he part of a previous electoral history of David Duke? Wait, where is he? Oh, there he is. Hey, that's an interesting party switch. He ran as Democrat, Republican, Republican. That's interesting. It's just a little bit of history right there, you know? Yeah, in the 1991 one, he got, that's the jungle primary, and this was the runoff where he got 671,000. In the 1991, in the election, wow! In the 1990 state Senate election, Louisiana, he got 43% of the vote. David Duke lost to an incumbent by only 10 points. Those people in Louisiana sure are okay with the literal fucking Ku Klux Klan. being in political power. But that's not surprising considering that even today, 30 years later, there are still Republicans with mainstream outlets that are saying that the Black Lives Matter movement is essentially the new KKK, or even worse than it. With language like that, it's not surprising they would be engaging in apologetics for that particular group. All right, cut it. Tempest, kill it. Stop. That's enough. We could talk about how crazy this bitch is all day. Stop.